I remember when I was a little kid, they asked what I wanted to be when I'm grown. I couldn't give even an estimate. No guide, had to figure it out on my own. I stayed up late nights.
Welcome, good people. Another episode of the Bruce Leroy Bar Report, episode 8 to be exact, man. And we have another great one in the building. Jeff Nawrocki, Rocki Button.
What's up?
Extraordinary painter. All of the above, man, for sure. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you for coming on, for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We just jump right into it, man. As always, get your backstory, man, and everything you got going on, for sure, man.
Okay.
So.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a father and I'm an artist here in South Bend, Indiana. I've always been very creative. I've had my hand in DJing. I've had my hands in music, art. Lived in Tampa, Florida for roughly about 10 years. Originally from here. Yeah, man, I'm just a dude trying to make my art, and bring color to everyone's life.
Absolutely. I love it. Love the way it's put, for sure. We were talking about the Rocki Button as well. I know it's tied into your name of some sort, as well as your ladies. How did it come about with you? So how did Rocki Button come about after 10, 15 plus years of DJing?
Well, so Rocki Button came about when I moved back and I met my fiance Christy, and she is a vintage clothes reseller.
Nice.
And we have a house full of kids. We have 4 kids together. I have 2 of my own, 2 of hers. We're combining houses, and we just needed a space like other than our home. And we were looking for a space for her to store her stuff, and we found this place, which was just Rio Parks, gave us this spot down here in the basement, and it was such a big space that I immediately saw a gallery once we walked in, and yeah, man, it just kind of like took off from there. Like the Rocki Button, the name, Nawrocki is my last name, so we took Rocki. Buttons is my girl's name, her nickname, so the Rocki Button. It's a combination of what we both do. We have a lot of art in here, a lot of local artists, but we also love to bring in musicians. Yeah, man, it's open to the community, and we're just trying to create another cool spot here in South Bend for all of the talented people that we have here to have another place to perform,
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. It's a dope scene from what I'm seeing first time here, man, and it's just like looking around this place, you guys want to come out, man, definitely. If you ever get a chance, South Bend, Indiana, Rocki Button, man, for sure. I read something, and it might have been a quote from you or someone else, but you do squares in your art.
Yep.
You had said something like you refuse to be boxed in.
Yep.
When it comes to it. Do you feel like that's a big part of your art, and where it differentiates itself from others?
Yeah.
Along with that quote?
I mean, yeah, I've been all my life just kind of, I don't want to be boxed in. I'm different. I'm 40 years old. I probably seem like I'm fucking 20, but it's just, I don't know. Like the square came out. Like I've done acrylic painting all my life. I've done photography. I've done videography. What I do now is just kind of like a combination of all those medias put together. You know what I'm saying? Like acrylic painting, photography, digital media. And then the square is just something that I personally, when I was creating my style, is just something that kind of stuck, and that's just, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
For sure. I noticed it. I think I read it from it was like an article in like 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
It was just like random. I just put in like Rocki Button just to, kind of do my research and due diligence, and that stood out to me right away, like that quote, and it was like...
That was actually my biography that I had written by someone else, which his name is Mighty Ja. He is from Tampa, Florida. He actually has his own podcast. I believe it airs for the first time tomorrow, but he's also a great musician in Tampa, just really solid dude, great with the words.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, shout out Mighty Ja.
Absolutely. When it comes down to creating art, and I know, like I said, you transitioned from DJ to painter. What are 3 essentials you need in any place you're creating art? It could be anything you like, man.
Music.
I
mean, music is essential. And that's when you look at my art. Like I have a lot of random stuff, but there's a lot of musicians, a lot of people who make music in my art. It's just people that I've looked up to, and just people that inspire me. And a lot of times when I'm making art at home. I'm listening to that particular artist when I'm making that artist, or just,
Dope.
I mean, music is great. I need good lighting and just good energy, man. Like it's, even if I'm making art here at the gallery, or if I'm making art at home with all the kids screaming and yelling, it's just, it's life,
balance.
man. It's life. It's balance. You got to learn to roll with the punches, and that's it.
Just music. So you got two others.
Music and
If you have anything that you faithfully do on a day, say we got a day of painting, music is one.
Well, music
and two other essentials, if you have any.
I enjoy drinking and smoking.
Okay.
Smoking the weeds.
The weeds.
Yeah, man. I listen to a lot of podcasts too, which is I'm stoked to be on this one. But I get a lot of my ideas just listening to other people, and it's.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. Hey, it's your essential. So it's like I said, that's why I asked, and I said, well, it's three things that you do faithfully in wherever you're creating. So yes, sir. Got a thing over here called rapid fire questions as well.
Okay. Oh shit.
This or that. So we got a couple for you, man. And I just started off. Casino or The Godfather?
Ooh. Casino.
Casino?
Yeah, Godfather's too much, too far, too long. And everyone loves Godfather, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big Goodfellas fan.
Goodfellas.
So Goodfellas is my favorite movie of all time. So Casino's
Okay.
Casino's kind of like right up there with that one. So
For sure.
I gotta choose Casino.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and I'm more so like, I only like the first two Godfathers.
Okay.
The third one was kind of like, but.
And I haven't really seen all of them. Don't say that.
Cool. Home Alone 2, Terminator 2.
Well, being that I haven't seen Terminator 2, I'm gonna have to go with Home Alone 2. Even though Home Alone 1 is the shit. Home Alone 1 is Home Alone 1. Like
South Bend Shovel Slayer.
Yeah, South Bend Shovel Slayer. Yeah, we got a cameo in there. South Bend.
There it is.
We're all over.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's still the South Bend because they were in Chicago, so I'm hoping it's our South Bend for sure. Let's go with DJing or painting. I know you done one over the other more time, but
DJing for me and it's just music in general. Like I was very big into that. Once I had my kids and like the nightlife kind of lost its luster for me. Like I like being at home with my kids a lot more than I liked being in like the music scene. I still love music and that's what I use to create. But yeah, I mean definitely painting because as the older I get, it's just more chill for me. I can just express myself without a room full of people. I don't have to, play to a room full of people. It's just me and the computer or the paint or whatever I'm creating with. And that's, I'd have to choose paint. And then my daughter as well, she's taking a very big liking to the gallery and she's doing her own art at work at home. So I like to think that I'm,
you're
inspiring the kids. So
that's dope, man. To see your kids follow what you're doing, man. Whether it was DJing, whether it was painting, just
and just a lot of positive feedback from everyone, family members and friends, and just people I've never met. It's a great feeling hearing people say great things about what you're doing or your hobby or
And that's how I feel too when I look at it. I'm like, man, it's just like, I love getting feedback, but it's just more so for like the people like you that I'm interviewing or the person behind the lens that's shooting this, or I get a better satisfaction out of knowing you guys were comfortable or you guys were, taken care of, as opposed to just saying, hey, I'm shooting an interview. But I said,
but we need you, we need Rome, we need people like this, art, music, and videography and all this stuff works hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very critical that wherever you're at, like we all kind of like work together. We're all different. You know what I'm saying? We all have something to bring to the table.
Yeah.
And it can only grow more from there. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah. And and while we're talking about art as well, I've just now gotten into art, so to say, maybe the last couple years. And I'm not big on like types of art, but what would you say your type of art would be when it comes
I'd say
down to
multimedia, abstract. That's kind of like where I'm kind of heading towards. I like wild stuff. I like just weird. I consider myself to be just a more digital, abstract, and most of my stuff is digital, but I include in a lot of other things like photography and painting, and kind of combine everything all into one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard that. Cool. Yeah. And you know what? I'm skipping ahead too. I have one more this or that for you too before we got out that.
All right.
Scarface or Ice Cube? I love those reactions.
Scarface the Diary is so good.
Man.
But Ice Cube, as I was growing up, Ice Cube was more in my life as I was growing up as a young kid, like when I was really starting to adapt to music. So, and then Ice Cube's in all the movies. Like I love Ice Cube, you know. But
more all around when it comes to, but Scarface is. Whew.
Yeah.
Like you said,
like
the
it's a tough choice.
That's a tough album for sure.
Tough choice for sure.
I know you don't dabble in. I don't know for sure if you still DJ or not.
I mean, I DJ for like little events we have here, and then just for myself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like to, when we have events here, I like to try to like highlight some of the other DJs we have around here, because I don't put my time into it, and we have other musicians and other DJs that actually put their time into it. So,
right.
You know, we have the space here, we got the DJ equipment here, so I'd like to just, you know, give them the light. You know
exactly
like,
what you're doing though, with the years behind it for sure.
Yeah.
Who are 3 people, music-wise, if you could have, like, it could be DJs, it could be artists, it could be any, that you're either inspired by or that you would want to work with?
Well, I mean, Wu-Tang for one. I mean, that's number one from the very beginning when I got into music. Me and my group of friends were skateboarded, and Wu-Tang was so instrumental and just introducing me as like it was just so different. Like, so Wu-Tang number one, like they influenced my life a lot. You know, it's Wu-Tang is great. Outkast, like Outkast is another one. You know, those are 2 solid ones that I just have been listening to, and they're from the South, but like I still had that like, I don't know. I think they were the first ones from the South that I actually like went like big. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least in my eyes.
For sure.
I mean, you had Suave House and all the other stuff, but like Outkast was there. You know what I'm saying?
Even going to the Dungeon Family, like they made an impact for sure.
And then as far as, there's another artist out of San Francisco that I really liked. His name is Sam Flores. That I was really big into his art coming up, and yeah, man, like I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of people. But yeah, I'd say maybe those are probably like my top 3 as far as, I mean, I could name a list of people.
I didn't want to like space it out too much, but I wanted to make sure, like, let me go, maybe not a top 5, but a top 3.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on.
Sure.
We could go on all day. And those, like, my top 3 will probably change every day. Except for Wu-Tang will probably always be number 1.
You speaking my language, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy because I always have a conversation with my brother about Wu-Tang, because I mentioned to you earlier, my brother is a little bit older, so about 45, 46. Mm-hmm. Wu-Tang was like one of those that were instilled like in my household, whether it was him playing it or me sneaking to play it.
Yeah.
He had that 36 Chambers on cassette tape when it dropped in '93.
Yes, sir.
And my mom, you could ask this. My mom hated Wu-Tang, like just because of my age and the lyrics.
It's not for the parents. It's for the children.
Wu-Tang is for the children, absolutely. But yeah, Wu-Tang was super big in my household, man. It's crazy for you to even say that being the first name you say, and it's like, dude, yeah, Wu-Tang is definitely the one.
36 Chambers.
36 and beyond. So what do you have upcoming? I know we got paintings, we got the Rocki Button, events and stuff going on.
Yeah,
whatever you have working on.
Let's see here. I have some art shows. I have art show at Create Bar and Grill out in Niles. That's the weekend of the 28th of January. As far as the Rocki Button, we have a pop-up that's coming up in February. We haven't set the date yet, but we got some local beat makers that are come here. American Liquor Co. is going to be a sponsor. So we're trying to do some charity work for the next event. But that's going to be coming up in February. We'll be posting something in the next few weeks on the Rocki Button Instagram, Rocki Button Facebook. Yeah. So just follow along with, I mean, we're constantly working on stuff with other people, and yeah, just stay tuned. We're trying to do as much as we can.
Of course. Yeah. Love it. And as always over here, man, I always like to give you your flowers before, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciation for you for even, like I said, coming on the show and just sitting down and having a conversation with me, man. Last but not least, just let the people know where they can find you, where they can find the Rocki Button. Anything, like you already mentioned the events coming up, but just anything involving you in this, this business for sure.
Well, first off, thank you for letting me be on my first podcast. I'm a big podcast fan. And you know what I'm saying? Like you've put a lot of people on a pedestal that are from around the area that are doing great things. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What was the other question?
Just anything involving you, bro. Right. Anything involving you, Rocki Button, what's going on, for sure.
So you can follow my artwork on Nawrocki Creates. It's Nawrocki Creates. That's on Instagram and Facebook. The Rocki Button, the Rocki Button. That's on Facebook and Instagram. Follow along on those two things for all the events. And if you have any ideas you want to work with us, hit us up. We just want to do cool stuff around here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that's about it.
Sure. Appreciate it. Always. Well, it's been another episode, good people. Bruce Leroy Bar Report. Me, Jeff Nawrocki, Rocki Button. And so, all right.
Peace.
Yeah. I still got the ace. You know I always got the hot shit. Going like an auction.